Hello everyone, hope you all are doing great. Welcome to our today's webinar of Meet the Global Leader. So we actually organized this webinar to guide and inform and create awareness among our audience who are mainly university going students. They actually, from this webinar, they learn how different professionals from different countries develop their skills, how they have been developing their skills, implementing their skills in their workplace. We also would like to, we also share their insights with the students and some advice and guidelines for the students so that by hearing from their experiences, they actually understand how to develop skills and how to implement skills. So we actually have invited today Miss Liana. She's a fellow with the Central Asia Energy Program for 2023 to 2024. She specializes in renewable energy and green economy initiatives, focusing her research on energy communities. And she is also an expert in green taxonomy policy making for Kazakhstan, positions her as a leading voice in sustainable energy solutions. So, students are going to learn the importance of renewable energy and sustainable development in today's world, the role of green taxonomy policymaking in promoting eco-friendly practices, the opportunities and challenges of working in the renewable energy sector, how to develop a career in sustainable energy and make a positive impact on the environment. So please welcome Ms. Liana, and let's learn from her valuable insights and experiences. Liana, welcome to our session.
Thank you, Mahbub, for the great introduction. Hello, everyone who will be watching. It's a great honor to be here and to share the insights and the experience that I have. I'm very happy to be here.
Great. If you can share in brief about how was your student life and what did you do apart from your study when you were a student?
When I was a student, well,
Yes.
I studied in various universities. For example, my bachelor degree was in Emirates Academy, my first year. Then I went to Académie Internationale de Management in France. So in both 2 years, I have studied hotel management. But previously, I studied technologist of meal degree for 4 years, where I thought that I would like to study something more broad because after being involved in food agricultural sector, I thought I need something more broader. So I decided to enroll to the bachelor degree of the hotel hospitality of hotel management and tourism management. After my internship, I decided to transfer to Malaysia, also to the tourism management. So 3 years of my bachelor degree was diverse in diverse universities, in different good universities, where I graduated successfully. What have I done during my student life? I was very active. I was monitoring all the newses in regards to the tourism management, and also we had in tourism management degree where I was studying, there was a sustainable tourism, managing visitors attractions. I also had a chance to interview some of the companies like Formula E, and I think that was a great experience. And the most important thing when you're a student is to be proactive. That's the main thing. Subscribing to the news, reading the organization news, what they're doing, what is their projects, is there any workshops or conferences that you can get involved. And yes, this is what I was basically doing when I was a student.
Great. And can you, share what is sustainable? What does sustainable mean to you?
Sustainable means going green, as simple as that for me. Following the circular economy, practicing green activities. It's all about. It's complex. It's about finance. It's about activities. It's about climate activities. It's a
Yeah.
broad concept.
Yeah, definitely. We would love to hear a little bit more during our discussion.
Yeah.
So, if you share, so like we would also like to share the passion that our speaker had when they started their career. So, if you share what inspired you to transition from IT industry to the field of renewable energy and the green economy.
Well, my career is very diverse. I have expertise in green technologies, in green finance. What else? Renewable energy, food, agricultural sector, and although many people, when they meet me, they think that I have an IT background. That's because I worked in IT company in Malaysia, and yeah, and my college degree, as I mentioned, it was from food in depth of knowledge I received from HACCP, which is hazard control critical points, and then about standards, so I can easily equip the role for the FAO. But I decided to expand my expertise by studying in the hotel management. Then I went to International Green Technology Center, where I started to work. The center belongs to the Ministry of the Environment in Kazakhstan. I worked in various departments, and I'm thankful, grateful for that. For example, while I was working in Green Technologies department, we had a survey to conduct from 2,000 enterprises in order to see what kind of green technologies they use. And this is where my career path transferred to the renewables, because when I was calling and collecting the survey answers from the mayors of the city, they were explaining me about the solar panels for the farmers and the subsidies that Kazakhstan had. And I was interested, but we didn't have much master's degree for the renewables. So I was waiting that someday I will go and enroll to the master's degree. So that's how my whole expertise, like each step has been part of natural progression. And that cultivated my current focus to the renewable energy sector, specifically from IT, bilateral cooperation. And this is where I was able to integrate the insights and diverse into the impactful solutions, specifically working into the renewable energy sector.
Perfect. And if you can share briefly about what is green economy. Like around the world, people are talking about that you have mentioned earlier, circular economy, and also there are so many terms, sustainability. So, what is green economy? If you share a little bit about it.
Well, green economy, actually in Kazakhstan, we have a concept of a green economy, which means transitioning economy into a green that includes all subsectors, energy, agriculture, industries, that they have to, if we talk about the industries, then the industries has to modernize their equipments, the infrastructure in order to emit less emissions. This is one of the examples. Uh, what other examples? For example, for food sector, agricultural sector, if we say sustainable agriculture, then it's all about eco food, uh, maintaining ecosystem for the food sector. If we talk and take an example, for example, of tourism, sustainable tourism, then I can provide an example of visitor attractions, where, for example, you have a heritage. Let's say you are going to visit one heritage, and in order to save the cultural heritage, there has to be control of the visitors, because the more visitors comes, the more, how to
It
say
gets
it,
polluted, yeah.
the more humid there
Disturbing
will
the
be.
inhabitants, yeah.
Yes, and for example, in if we take Egypt, if you will go to the Egypt, there is like how to say, paint on the walls, and they control usually the visitors amount in order to not disturb the painting. So this is also one of the examples of the sustainable tourism. If we talk about transport infrastructure, then it's e-vehicles. Then instead
Yeah.
of conducting Formula One, we can, well, how to say, not establish, but run a Formula E, which the vehicles will be from the fully electric vehicles, not from the fuel. So it's very complex. So yeah, this is what I understand as a green economy, because I know what is
Yeah.
our concept in order how we should make a smooth transition into a greener economy. That's why we have to have a lot of strategies, sub-activities, which will help the economy to transit into a green. If we talk about circular economies, then it's all about supply chain and production. So yeah, I
Yeah,
tried to be
perfect.
very short.
Like in most cases, after graduation, sometimes graduates they kind of complain that what they studied at universities, there is a like gap, that the things that they are doing at their professional work. So how was it for you when after graduation, when you started working? So how did you feel that, did you find it relevant, and like, could you relate what did you study,
I
yeah.
I absolutely agree with the statement of the students, and that's why my one of the key advice will be to go for an internship, because when I was studying hotel management, after second year I went to do an internship for 6 months. During these 6 months, I was been rotating to various departments: quality management, food and beverage, housekeeping, and all departments. And I understood that I'm more than just working in a hotel management. I can do better, I can do more. And I have decided to expand my uh, bachelor degree into tourism management. Of course, by the law in Malaysia, you cannot go to the third year. So I redo again the second year and then the third year. So yeah, and that's absolutely true, because what you learn at the university is different. And if you would like to choose your career path, and for example, if it's a climate change, if it's a climate sector, you have to go choose a company, try to perform there at your best, and see what kind of departments there will be. Because if there will be a good rotation, there is a high chances that you might like one of the departments, and the company may hire you further to work in the company. So that is the main point. And if you go into internship, make sure that you ask them, please rotate me to various departments within these 6 months. So you can see your capabilities, you can see your competence, in which departments, what is your interest. So yeah.
Absolutely, it's very important, and like, some percentage of the students actually misuse their internship periods. So they have like here 3 months of internship period after their last semester, but they misuse it. They just like chill and go, and just to you say it's just an internship. I'll get the maybe the number, so it will add on with my CGPA, but most cases, like the mindset is like that. Oh, it's just for the sake of getting some number, or it's like a credit. So this is important for students. It's like the first training ground for them to get into the corporate world and to learn, test their skills. So thanks for like mentioning this internship. Through that, they can understand in which area they're passionate about, they're
Yes.
good at, and they can develop and start their career with. So this is very important. So like in around the world, like recently, the like COP conference was there. What- Can you share in briefly green? What is green taxonomy? Because there's so many terms, people that we've been heard for so many years, hearings for so many years, but like it's better to learn from you as you have been in this sector. So if you share what is green taxonomy and how does it impact renewable energy policy in Kazakhstan?
Thank you so much for this question. Actually, this is one of my favorite topics to talk about, because when I worked under the company which belongs to the Ministry of the Environment, Ministry of the Environment has assigned a task to develop a methodology for the taxonomy. And while I was working with the team, I had the privilege to study the international practice. And based on the European Union definition, what is taxonomy? Taxonomy is a classification system. Basically, it's a tool in a green finance, but green taxonomy itself is a classification system that identifies economic activities which considered environmentally sustainable. So the purpose of the taxonomy is to provide a criteria what qualifies green or sustainable. But in Kazakhstan, we had adopted environmental code in 2021, and by the definition of our environmental code, taxonomy defined as a classification system for categories of green projects. And these green projects later will be eligible to financing for green loans or green bonds. The taxonomy itself was initiated by the Astana International Finance Center, Green Finance Center. So, and recently in March, if I'm not mistaken, the classification system, the taxonomy has been amended to add subsectors. So you asked about how does it impact the renewable energy. You know, as I said, taxonomy is a classification system, right? And it has all the subsectors of the economy. It could be for the buildings, for the energy sector, for land, and some other sectors. And for the renewable energy policy, how does it affect? In my point of view, renewable energy policy is more multi-complex. You know, it encompasses the regulatory framework. If we talk about the renewable energy policy, it consists in Kazakhstan from renewable energy auctions, international renewable energy certificates, regulatory framework, investment agreements, and many more. So the green finance itself is it's a very important part of this policy, which significantly influence its development. So that's why I think that taxonomy serves as a tool of a green finance, and it promotes transparency, and especially in a green capital market, it's a very successful tool in green finance and green capital market. This is what I think.
Perfect. And we have been discussing some tough things or topics. Let's go to some simple topics.
Yes.
So according to you, initially when you started your career, if you share what was your experience skills wise that you saw that during your professional career, that the skills gap that you had, and how did you, if you faced this kind of difficulties of skills gap, um, how did you actually mitigate that gap?
I think it's a very good question because most of the employers, when they go to the interview, they do not say their weaknesses. They mostly say about their strengths, about their skills, what they do the best. In my point of view, it's better to say your weakness in order for the senior, for example, to be able to guide you how to improve that, improve your weakness. For example, in my case, one of the latest, for example, when I was in the fellowship program, I have mentioned that I have difficulties in structuring the research paper. And then I think I was lucky enough that a mentor was very experienced, and there was a lot of time spent to my in order to how to say close this gap, and there was a lot of explanation and guidance from the mentor that I learned. So it's better to say in which area is your weakness. Although you are coming, it doesn't matter if you're coming from the as a fresh graduate or you're coming as a master's degree holder. You have to highlight why, because later when you will be assigned a project, what if you will not be able to perform well and submit the task within your 100 marks, at work especially? That means that you gonna not gonna perform well, and your senior have to do the work for you. So in order not to make this happen, you have to make sure that you highlight this weakness during the interview and say, look, I'm best at this. I developed the methodology. I did this. However, I have some difficulties in writing, or I have some difficulties in, for example, it could be uh, correspondence because you're a fresh graduate. So yeah, this is how I'm honest. But of course, it sometimes it doesn't help when you're honest, but at least you have to say at least one of your weaknesses that you have to work on.
Absolutely. And also, sometimes, when students they are at universities, they think, there's a saying, when you're in school, if you go to college, then you will have much time to enjoy your student life. And they find it very difficult to, they have to study a lot. And they're being told that if when you go to university,
Yeah.
it's less study, just enjoy traveling around, hanging out with friends. But when they enter into university, it's like, assignments, reports, like it's like 4 years is in the blink of an eye, just vanished. So the point is,
I
there is
think
also
you're right. You're right.
a misconception, which is, if when we start, if we get a job, the general term, if we get a job, it's then you are relaxed. You just go in the morning, return home, in the evening, and that's it. You just have to work in a fixed format, and that's it. So, but lawyers, doctors, all through their life, till they retire, they have to continuously study new terms, new technology, advancement in the maybe medical tech industry sector. But because of that, because everything is continuously, the world is going forward, there are so many updates, like innovation. So this mindset, if you share something based on your experience, say for example, if you when you started your career, if you just go to your office, do your work, regular work, and return to home, would you be able to be the person you are today?
No, no, no. I would partially agree with your statement and partially wouldn't agree because it depends on a person. If you, for example, an A
Yes.
student and you study very hard, and then if you have a dream, you would like to go to work and, for example, pursue a brilliant career, you have to work very hard because at the end the knowledge will stay with you and no one gonna take the knowledge from you, and the more you work the more you succeed. How did I succeed it? I was very hardworking person. I used to pay attention to details. For me, going to work, it's not about getting a salary. It's about contributing to the company, bringing the best out of my performance, and to be at least second or third best employee at the company. So that's why, and it also depends on who will be your mentor or who will be your senior. If they will be able to see your talent, they will rotate you, they will give you the opportunity to expand your skills and knowledge and to be able to build your career path in the right direction. It also depends on the company itself. It's not only about students. Of course, the student will be going to the work. If there is no motivation, if there is no rewards in the company, of course, they will be having a mindset, I'm just going to the work to get a salary and that's it, I'm
Yes.
going. So, as we say, for example, in Japan, one person works the whole life at the company.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? But what is my mindset? What is my culture? I mean, what I have formed after being abroad. I usually work 2 years in the company or 3 years, maximum 3 years. If I don't see promotion, if I don't see that there is no rewards, then I try to change the company. And it doesn't show me as because I'm not a loyal employee or someone that who doesn't want to work. It just shows that I want to grow in a company. But if the company is not noticing my contribution, I better go to another company which will be able to notice my performance. So yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is also a very strong point, and very grateful to you that you have mentioned that. Sometimes if, say, for example, the company does not see your potential, then definitely as a person, if you realize it and if you know your worth, definitely you should, like change, or, like shift to another job.
But
That is
it
true. That
depends on you. It depends also on the person. If the person would
yes.
like to make a project, if they would like to participate in this project, and by participating in the project, they will get some rewards, like extra salary or some other. There has to be some
Absolutely.
motivation. They have to be driven. They have to be motivated by themselves. No one has to motivate actually the person. I mean, if you're going to work, you're going to work because you would like to achieve some career, or maybe because you would like to work. You have to do your best. You have to show your all capabilities. You have to push yourself. You have to keep asking questions from your seniors. How can I contribute? What can I do? Give me more tasks. You have to be hungry for the knowledge and for the tasks, because you're young, you're smart, you're capable to learn and adapt to the culture or to a company. So yeah.
Like the people say, collaboration or partnership is, it's one of the goals of SDG goals by UN. So according to you, how do you see it? I mean, if you share some points, how important is collaboration with other organizations and stakeholders in your work?
That's a very good question, actually, and it's a key question in making partners. Um, for example, in research area, when we make a research consultancy and we make a project, we have a different methodologies in the research in academia. So if we have a, for example, qualitative methodology, we have to conduct interviews with the stakeholders. And most of the stakeholders, you have to follow up and say, for example, okay, we have asked you these questions for this project, for example, and then at the end, it's better if you share the outcome or the research report itself. Of course, not many companies allow you to share the research report, um, but this is one of the examples. And collaboration in various sectors means different things. For example, in hospitality or hotel management or tourism management, collaboration is all about retention. In renewable energy sector, it's all about client needs, because if you meet the client needs, that's very crucial for the stakeholders. And without meeting the client needs, you will not be able to achieve the project milestones, because it's nearly impossible if you don't know the client needs. If you're not following, it's very nearly impossible. So collaboration is not just about completing the tasks, but it's also about building the partnerships. For example, if in renewable energy you have implemented a renewable energy facility for, let's say, 100 megawatt, how can you collaborate later with them? Take another project as a EPC, for example. Provide some other how to say, cooperation. Let's say you can become partners with the client. You may sign memorandum of understanding with them to expand the knowledge. There could be transfer of technology. There could be many things when you sign the memorandum. So it's all about partnerships, and in various sectors it means different things. But key thing about collaboration, it's about client needs, it's about partnership.
Great. So, like, when you were in different, in professional world, there are so many challenges comes up. So, how do you, like, overcome challenges? What is your strategy, and how the students, they have multiple challenges when they are studying at universities, like coping up with their assignments, exams, like maintaining relationships with their friends, relatives, family. So, and there are some, like, challenges as well, which are maybe unknown. But in professional sector, how students can prepare themselves to overcome challenges easily. So
Uh,
if you share your strategy.
Uh, for me, I was lucky because I worked. Okay, I was not lucky. Of course, I was also smart to be in IT company in IT sector where my project manager actually guided me that I have to have a to-do list. I have to have a task management in order to be effective at work. Same goes to the universities. When you're at the university, you have your to-do list. It can be in Trello or some other applications where you put your schedule. Okay, Monday I have two assignments and I have to submit them on Wednesday, but I will complete them on Tuesday. So you have to write it down, each your assignments at the universities. So in order to have a balance with your life. So one of the most valuable skills that I gained while I was working in the IT department, it's the effective communication. I'm thankful that I learned there how to communicate. I learned there about business development, about standard operating procedures, about coordination, cooperation, and the task management. Uh, in the corporate world, in the IT company where I worked, there was around 200 people. And when we were leading the project, and I was a junior, we have to write every week updates on ongoing tasks, what we have done, what was the results, what type of meetings we had, what achievements we had from the tasks. So yeah, this is very important. If you have to-do list, write it down every task, and then you can see, okay, I have on Friday and Saturday and maybe Tuesday a window. There I can go outside and I can be free. I can do whatever I wish. So this is what you can do. Simple.
Absolutely. Like, setting priorities
Time management.
it is very, very important because for students, they should first prioritize their study because sometimes like they prioritize hanging out with friends, relaxing, traveling, all are okay. But if the number one, because the primary responsibility is to study as a student, and
Yeah.
then they should do volunteering work, part-time work, or whatever things that can help them develop skills. That is very important. So we are almost at the end of our session, but we have like a few questions. Can you share what it means to be a fellow in the Central Asia Energy Program and what you hope to achieve during this year?
Thank you so much.
If you
To
if you also
be
share a little bit about that program as well.
okay, okay, yeah, sure. Um, to be a fellow, first of all, I'm thankful that I was representing the country within the Central Asian countries. I represented Kazakhstan. I was happy that I had a very experienced mentor, and to be a fellow, it's a privilege and it's a responsibility, and especially when you represent your country, especially when you have a lot of followers who believe into your idea, into what you do exactly. It's it means you have to be dedicated and you have to be disciplined. So it was challenging, but it was rewarding. The mentorship, the fellowship program has already come to an end, and during my mentorship program, I was working on the research paper which focused on energy sharing and energy communities. And if you will ask what is energy sharing and energy communities, it's group of individuals, peoples, or businesses, or it could be organizations that come together to produce green energy and to distribute the energy locally. So, for example, it could be solar rooftop that installed in single house or multifamily residential apartments. Or it can be off grid or on grid. So this is what I have been doing. This Central Asia Energy Fellowship Program has been initiated by the State Department and implemented by the Deloitte. And of course, it's a huge privilege when you work with the team members from Deloitte and you see how much they perform,
Yeah.
how much effort they put. It's it's a great experience that you can actually take from it. And I was super happy. And this is one of my achievements that I'm proud, I would say, because within this fellowship program, I was able to go to the conferences and present my research paper. And if you will ask me what is your achievement, then uh, I cannot say that there is a huge achievement, but I was raising awareness on energy communities, that why energy communities are important, specifically for Kazakhstan, right? As you know, Kazakhstan's energy depends from coal, 69%, and all Central Asian countries varies also. For example, Turkmenistan on gas, Uzbekistan on gas, and Kyrgyz Republic on hydro. They rely to hydro energy. And in order to reach the climate goals, in order to reach the renewable targets which we have, I think energy communities are important, because if you check the national statistics of Kazakhstan, the second largest consumer, can you imagine, is the households. The first one is the industries, of course, who emit, who have the emissions, but the who consumes the energy. But the second consumers of the energy, it's the household, of course. That's why it's important.
Perfect. If you share some advice for students, how they can utilize their student life, so before graduation, how they can, like develop some skills and some knowledge, and what the skills to develop. If you share some advice on that.
I think if you're a student and if you dream to work for Big Four, or if you dream to work to a huge international organization like UN or UNEC, specifically in climate, for example, or IRENA, International Renewable Energy Agency, be proactive. Take advantage of opportunities that you have during your studies. You have to follow all the social medias. For example, if it's IRENA, you have to follow their page on social media. You have to see their news. You have to read, stay updated, check their projects. And it's not only just IRENA. You have to follow UN, you have to follow UNEP, for example, and read all the news, all the projects, what's happening in the industry, what is the challenges, what are the trends. You have to read all about it. And also try to attend conferences and try to network during the conferences. If you are in academia, you are a researcher, then try to present your research in order to get the attention of the organizations to whom you may work further, or to whom you can be partners later. Build your network, and once you are in the community, later it will be easier for you to see, okay, for example, maybe they have internship opportunities. You may go and apply for the internship. So this is very crucial.
Absolutely, absolutely, and definitely networking, having mentors. This is very important to have, and to nurture this networking and relationship with people who are in different sectors. So we're almost at the end of our session.
Mhm.
Would you like to share something more?
I think yes. I think I would like to contribute with this webinar to the students, because I know how challenging it is to find a job, and I would like to show how to search for the internship opportunities. If you don't mind, I will share a
Yeah,
presentation
sure.
that I prepared for the students, but I'm not sure how to. Okay, I'm sharing the screen. Okay. Um, do you have the? I'm trying to.
Is it the same
Okay.
that you have shared earlier?
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So how to enlarge this? 1 second. So I have prepared some tips. Of course, I will start with LinkedIn. If, for example, you're working for the
Wait a
consultancy.
second. No, your screen is there. Can you open the presentation?
Uh-huh. So
Just a minute. It is showing, or if it is the same, I can share from my screen, I think.
Yeah, it's the same. How can I stop the sharing the screen? Ah, okay. Here we go.
Perfect. Just a minute.
Thank you.
Yep. Can you see it?
It's loading. Yes. Could you please go to the LinkedIn third page, if you don't mind?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. The LinkedIn page after the UNDP
Link.
careers.
Yep.
So when I was doing my internship, I applied to around to 30 or more than 40 applications. Uh, one of the important thing is to use LinkedIn. Usually people they go to the job search and they try to see there the internships. But one of the life hacks or tips that I can provide, you should write the keyword in the search line, and then you will see the posts. Based on the post, you can scroll down and see what kind of internships are the fresh ones that not a lot of people knows. So you can try to apply there. Or if you're looking for a fellowship, it's in the next slide also. Or consultancy, you can write consultancy, for example, and you search from the posts. And in the post, you can see exactly who posted. It doesn't mean that you have to go and connect with the person and ask for a job, but just check the link, read the requirements, and if your requirements are met with your, for example, if you are studying mechanical engineering and they need someone to the team for the internship with the background of mechanical engineering, then you can apply. After the internship, if you would like to go for the consultancy, it's right at the first pages, Mahbub. Could you please help me to, yes, the ADB, the second page, yes. Usually how I applied, like while I was doing with 14 years of experience, as I said, I worked previously in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, then I worked at the food industry, then I worked at the IT sector, then the environmental sector. After that, I decided to go to the consultant field. What I have done is that I started monitoring all the profiles like Asian Development Bank, United Nations Development Program, EBRD, and some other websites. And when you go to the ADB, for example, Consultant Management System, you can see all the listed projects that you can actually apply as a consultant. If you have the experience, once you have done the research, once you have worked 2 years in the company or 1 year at least, make sure, if you're interested in the consultancy, make sure you will be writing a reports, that you will be contributing into the reports, and then you can apply to the similar projects in the ADB CMS consultant system. If you look at the next page, there is UNDP careers also. You can apply to the UNDP, but in the UNDP it's different because you have to write your own request for proposal, and this is how you usually apply for the consultancy. And also you search in the LinkedIn. When you go to the conferences, you also talk to the experts and ask what kind of project do they have, what kind of project you can be involved in. That's why during your student years, it's important not only just to study, but go to the conferences and do the networks. If you go to the next pages, for example, if you're just a student and you're studying, let's say, the third year of your bachelor degree, then you can go to the US Embassy in Bangladesh. Usually the US embassies, they have a lot of programs. There is fellowships, there is some, it's in the next pages at the last one. Yes, this one. If you will go through this link, I will share this presentation to Mahbub so he can distribute this presentation to you, to students. So you can have a look at the links, because at the end of this presentation there will be links. So as you can see, there is a fellowship, there is an international visitor leadership program. You can open, see the requirements, and try to apply if the requirements that listed in the program are matches. Do not apply to any programs or to any jobs. It's my general advice. If your the requirements listed in the job doesn't match, because in this way you will waste the time of the employers and you waste your time. Just apply if you're confident that yes, I can do these tasks, it aligns with my competence, only then you can apply. And the second thing, important thing, is when you write the motivation letter, write about all your achievements, about your voluntary work, what you have done, where you were active and proactive, in which conferences you participated as a speaker, for example, or as a moderator. And if you will wonder how to be a moderator in the conferences, I can provide an example. For example, in the next page, Mahbub, there is, as you can see, UNFCCC, they have a Yongo. If you have heard about Yongo, you can actually become a member of Yongo, and there is a lot of sectors in finance, in agriculture, energy sector. If you will subscribe to be a member of the Yongo, I think the YOS can become a member starting from 18 till 35 years. Yes, and like this you can be active. There is various groups. It's interesting because they discuss about climate change, they discuss about climate agenda, about conference of parties, what they will be also doing some researches and reports and contributing like this. If you will be at the Yongo, you will be updated with all the news, because this is where the young people are very active and they can show themselves, and there is a high chances you might get noticed by the some employees. Also, another thing, try to join the working groups while you're a student. Try to search, if you're at the energy sector, try to search what kind of energy groups there exist. For example, in Kazakhstan, we have some energy groups, but it is within the governmental structure or within the universities. There you can join the energy groups, and they discuss usually the tasks that assigned from the government or that assigned to the some specific how to say events. So this is where you can gain the knowledge also and experience. So this is my advice for the young people and students. And if they have some questions or they will be interested to know more, I will be happy to also to answer their questions. So yes, this is what I wanted to share. This is how I built my career usually. I mean, by being active, by attending the conferences, by showing my presentations of my research papers, and
Yeah,
searching for the opportunities online. So yeah, this is how it helped me to shape my career.
absolutely. Very much relatable. I can relate this as well. Like as a university students, they have like students who are studying at university, they have a lot of responsibilities. They have to serve for the community by volunteering works. They have to do research. They should as a student at university, they should start working on contributing for the community, for the country, and for the world. They have to see themselves like that. And from your impressive experiences and very wonderful and thoughtful and informative guidelines and presentations, we believe that within this short time,
Yeah.
our students and mainly audience have learned a lot, and who are going to watch it later on, they will find it very informative, and that guideline is going to really help them. And we'll also, after this session, we'll share that presentation with them so anyone can learn and see how to apply all those things, do all those things. So, Liana, thank you so much for your time and
Thank you
for
for
these
having me. Thank you for inviting.
valuable insights. And we wish you very best of luck. Keep doing the great work.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much.